Oh, hi. Welcome to Exis-Tense, the show that your priest warned you about. I'm your host, Newman.
And I'm here mostly because my producers wanted the show to be more visually interesting. What is this show, by the way? Who recommended it to you? Was it my mother? Does she love me or my sister more? These are all valid questions, by the way.
In this show, we try to explore some of the bigger topics about what it means to be human, to be alive, to love, to lose,
To fuck! And to die. In that order. So, let's explore, you and I. Take my hand, and let's discover what makes us tense on Exis-Tense.
We assume that innocence is always perfectly accurate and
for existence.
Welcome to my office. Hey, Mr. Chalkboard, how's it going?
It's going well, Newman.
Mrs. Lamp, how was your day?
Just trying to look on the bright side.
How it do, Mr. Chair?
Oh, Newman. Mr. Chair died.
Murder? Today's topic is existentialism, or as I like to call it, thinking squared. Existentialism sort of serves as an umbrella term for a number of different ideals, whose thinkers were all concerned with finding an answer to the question of, what makes life worth living? Is it praising Jesus? I've got a book that sure as heck says it is. Is it meeting people and making meaningful connections that aren't at all sexually motivated? In your media area? Tinder would like you to believe so. Is it taking one life-changing semester abroad in Barcelona and then telling every soul you meet, Becky better hope it is, otherwise she might just be annoying. The point being, nobody really has an answer to this what that makes life meaningful. But in the spirit of the philosophers that have endeavored to try to do the impossible, let's explore some options. First up under the existentialist umbrella is nihilism. The nihilist says of life that there is no point to any of it, and there's no God. Or, at the very least, God's like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Uncaring, unfeeling, and an inspiration to everyone that doesn't have sex. Nothing matters, so everything is permissible. One of the most prominent philosophical writers on nihilism, Friedrich Nietzsche, wrote, "Nihilism is not only the belief that everything deserves to perish, but one actually puts one's shoulder to the plow. One destroys. Just like how my father destroyed my family." Nihilism is necessarily destructive. It produces and breeds a belief in an absolute and all-consuming nothingness. The nihilist rejects the earthly and the extra-worldly as pointless, which is sad, because sometimes the earthly isn't that bad. I can list 3 things off the top of my head that keep me from going full nihilist. Number 1, I'm going pocket dogs. They're compact and cute. Number 2, I heard a guy in the movie theater recently watched Dumbo, the imaginary flying elephant, take flight for the first time, and as Dumbo left the ground, he shouted, "Whoa!" You know, as if he didn't know this was coming. That guy should run for president. I would vote for the guy who got a ticket to Dumbo without realizing the elephant was going to be capable of unmotorized flight in a heartbeat. And 3, I'm going Game Fuel. The sweet, refreshing energy drink, now available in 4 bombastic flavors. However, there are some people who don't find the earthly as dope as I do. So, I'm going to throw this over to our nihilist correspondent, Evan.
My name is Evan Phillips, and I'm a nihilist on a quest around Boston to find out why people care about things. My journey begins in a place that all good journeys begin in, a young girl's bedroom.
Okay, so this is a Christmas stamp from 1992. Now, it's a limited edition because only 10,000 were made, so it's kind of a big deal. Okay, and then there's, okay, Mr. Rogers. Who doesn't love Mr. Rogers? From 1988. So cool. Did you watch Mr. Rogers growing up? All right. Okay. Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, San Francisco. Okay, now this one's a real treat, okay? Very special to me. This one's a limited edition Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen stamp. Now, it's a misprint though, because if you look very carefully, you can see that the faces are swapped.
Why?
Why is it a misprint?
Why do you do this? Do you have a lot of packages to send?
No, I don't know. I guess my dad traveled a lot growing up, so he would send me letters, and the letters would have stamps. So I would cut out the stamps and put them in my books, and then before I knew it, I had all these stamps.
So you filled the void your father left in your life with stickers.
No, I don't.
Does collecting stamps give you joy? Does it bring you a burst of serotonin equivalent to what you would get from climaxing on top of a huge pile of cocaine?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. I got it. You collect these stamps to avoid the dawning realization that God is dead. Your dad is dead.
Well,
Everyone you have ever or will ever love will shrivel away and die. But at least you have these stamps.
I guess.
Well, that interaction has my stamp of disapproval, but I've still got leads. Onwards to AA.
Thanks for having me.
So you like booze, right?
Yeah, I used to. I try to stay away from this stuff now, though.
What's your poison? You a whiskey guy?
Actually, it's funny you ask. I used to be really into scotch. I would pour a couple shots into my morning coffee, just to get the day started, get me going. What? Hey, man, are you serious, man?
Oh, sorry. Did you want some?
No. I don't think you understand the issue with you bringing a whole handle of Fireball here.
Oh, you lot are picky about your booze, huh? Here's something a little more top shelf.
Hey, man. I'm not that guy anymore, I've been through the steps, 12 of them to be precise, and today's not going to be the day that I break.
I will just leave these here for now because I get the sense that you are a cocktail guy. Moscow! They are absolutely delicious.
Look, man, you see this chip? You see this chip? It says 5 years on it, man. 5 years of health, healing, and betterment. This chip is a symbol of the man that I have become, okay? None of this is because this is my chip, okay?
May I see it?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey!
The chip is meaningless. Just like the steps, just like your resolve. You want to know a secret? There is no rock bottom. It just keeps going down. And then maybe up if you like. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? Here. If this won't get you back off the wagon, I don't know what will.
Wait, is that moonshine? Is this full of moonshine?
That's horrendous.
Oh my god.
After realizing that none of these people could get me to care about anything, I decided to drown myself in the Charles River and end my unyielding sorrow. But before jumping off the dock, I saw a lone fisherman and was curious if he had anything to offer me.
What are you doing?
Are you posh? A silly scuttlebutt. I'm fishing. I'm simply fishing.
Why?
What do you mean, why? What do you mean, why? I'm fishing to fish. I'm fishing to have fun. I'm a fisherman, so I do.
So you keep the fish you catch?
No. No, simply no. I bring them in, I'll send them out. It's just for fun. It's just me.
Okay, so what's the point? You just spend hours here every day catching fish, and you keep them and throw them back? I don't.
Cat's out of the bag, I guess. I don't know. Cat's out of the bag. If all you plan to do is whine, boy, and not sit there, then cast your own line.
No, thank you.
Learn for yourself.
It's not for me.
Pick up a buoy.
All right. Just cast it back.
Pull it back and forward.
This crazy character made me realize that there are things in life I could learn to care about. I didn't know who this man was or why he was fishing on this dock, but I do know one thing. This man is my friend. To think that a journey that began in a young girl's bedroom ended up on a dock with an old, young-looking man who had many fish tales to tell. Perhaps I'll even have a few of my own.
Are we just gonna ignore the fact that he may have made that sober guy start drinking again? Oh. Well, if the board says we're moving on, then I guess we're moving on. Best of luck to Kate. The question remains, if not nihilism, then what? If the world we live in is still all we know and all we can understand, what else is there than just accepting the pointlessness and living in it? Let's all find a barrel to get naked in and start throwing our shit at passerby like the great Diogenes, Greek shit thrower to the gods. Or maybe not. Absurdism comes to mind. In absurdism, humans are idiots, and that's okay. It's like Jimmy Fallon. He's an idiot, and everyone still loves him. No one, not a single Wagstaff has ever written a play about wanting to kill him. Absurdism is basically the idea that the universe is ridiculous, pointless, and meaningless. Trying to understand it would be a fundamentally absurd task, so we shouldn't try. It's like Brittany trying to run a marathon. She knows she's not going to finish, but boy, does Brit keep trying. It's dumb to try, and we're idiots. Yet, so is Sisyphus. Sisyphus is Camus' absurd hero in his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, that is based off an ancient Greek myth of a man whose punishment in the underworld was to push the same boulder up a hill over and over again, with the knowledge that when he reaches the top, it would just roll back down the hill. Camus uses this to illustrate his view of life. It's what I like to call the endless runner view of life, in which life is inherently pointless, but we do it anyway because of the glimmers of hope. No one ever wins Temple Run. It's endless. And an outdated reference. But some Temple Run stands keep on playing because it still feels good to try. And it feels good to try living, even if it winds up being pointless in the end. At least we went down swinging. Understanding, meaning, and security are luxuries not afforded to those cursed with living. So again I ask, why live at all? What does Camus say about why we keep endless running, even though we know those demon monkeys are going to catch up with us in the end? Camus concludes his essay about Sisyphus by writing, "The struggle itself is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy." What Camus is putting forward is the idea that the endless runner might not have meaning or be important, and the idea of it ending permanently, without another retry or some kind of a post-game, while scary and sad as heck, can be almost beautiful. Finding the meaning in the absurd is the point. Whether it's the crisp taste of game fuel, or some dude who may have been too high to remember that movies aren't real and Dumbo isn't actually flying. The point is, might not be no set, concrete point and reason for every person. And that's okay. Lastly, I'd like to say this. Life may be pointless and utterly lacking in meaning. Make some of your own. High five a dog. Ask someone out. Cry because it's just that sort of day and that pint of ice cream you've yet to buy isn't going to eat itself. Whatever it is, try to feel something. It's one of the few things as living beings that we get the privilege to do on a daily basis. René Descartes, on his Discourse on the Method, is quoted as writing, "Coquito ergo sum." which is translated as, I think, therefore I am. But it's not just thinking. Existence is thinking, feeling, loving, hating, hurting, and even dying. Do all the things before you don't have the chance to do any of them anymore. Embrace existence. I've been Newman. Good night.
We assume that that innocence will always prove accurate and true.
For existence.